So next topic is meristematic tissue. In plant, cells of only one specific tissue can divide, and therefore growth occur only at a place where such a tissue are present, and that is known as meristematic tissue. So meristematic tissue are those type of tissue in which whatever the cells are there, that cells are going to divide or further growth. Okay, so at that place where these things will happen, and that is said to be meristematic tissue, and the part of the plant that give rise to new plants contain meristematic tissue. Okay, so obviously there is a meristematic tissue which help in a growth of a plant. Okay, let's talk about the artificial method of vegetative reproduction. First is grafting, second one is cutting, third one is layering, fourth one is tissue culture, and there is also advantage and disadvantage of vegetative reproduction. Okay, so let's talk about first grafting. This method is commonly used in a horticulture to develop new varieties of fruits plants, and it consists to keeping a twin or bud of one plant called Ceylon over the cut the stem another plant which is a stalk, and typing them up together. The stalk should have the extensive root system under the soil, and the tissue of the stalk are joined together to form a new plant. Okay, and this method is said to be grafting. Okay, just cut down and then after join it. Okay, they are said to be grafting. Okay, let's talk about cutting. In a cutting method, the healthy young branch of the plant having leaf buds is cutting off and planted in a moist soil, like obviously you see the rose. Okay, when you cut sugar cane, when you cut it and just put the new young branch of plant, okay, having leaf buds, okay, just go and put in a moist soil, what will happen? And it allow to new plants to be produced from a single plant without waiting for fruits and seeds. Okay, so this is all about cutting. Let us talk about layering. A young branch is bent toward the ground and cover the moist soil. After some time, the roots develop from the covered part, and this is known as a layer. Okay, and the branch can now be cut and made to grow into a new plant, and this method is known as layering. Okay, so layering is all about when a leaf, we can say that when a leaf or a branch that attracted toward the layer of obviously ground on, then what will happen? Obviously the branch now can be cutted and the made in a new plant. Okay, so that the branch of tree go and touches the ground. Okay, and then after again start growing, and what will happen? Obviously it grow a new plant. For example, you can see like jasmine is such a plant. Okay, let's talk about tissue culture. In this process, the piece of the tissue is cutted off and a growing tip of the plant, and the cell are the separated and kept in a nutrient medium under the controlled condition. The nutrient condition contain the hormones and made the cell divide into the form of groups, and the roots are developed, and these are then kept in a different nutrient medium containing the hormones that the parents can be now to grow in a pot of the soil. There are some different plants but produced by this method, and this method is known as obviously tissue culture. Okay, let's talk about advantage of vegetative propagation and disadvantage of vegetative reproduction. Okay, so it allows them to produce new plants quickly. All plants have the undesirable characteristics of the parents plant. Okay, it is disadvantage. Plants reproduced by this method are exact copy of their parent plant. Okay, and all plants are voluntary to the same disease. Okay, so these all things you need to just read twice and write down a short notes about vegetative propagation. Okay, sorry, vegetative reproduction. Okay, next lecture we will discuss about sexual reproduction. Okay, in which we talk about how reproductive part involved in sexual reproduction. Okay, most of the animals, plants reproduce sexually. Okay, and obviously for sexual reproduction to occur, two parents, each parents produces one reproductive cell which is known as gametes, and the male parts produces male cell, sperm, and the female parents produces egg cell which is ovum. When the male cell and the egg cell fuses together, they form a third cell known as zygote, and the process of fusion of the male cell and the female egg cell is known as fertilization, and the zygote is the first cell of the new organism which develop into a new organism over a period of time. So it is all process, it is a brief process of sexual reproduction. Okay, but here we will discuss about sexual reproduction in plants. Okay, so before talking about sexual reproduction in plant, I just tell you one thing. Please see the hibiscus flower which is given in a structure of flower over there. Okay, petal, anther, stigma, filament, sepal, ovary, pedicel, style, okay, stigma, carpel. Okay, these all things, stamen, these all things are given. You just need to first draw a level diagram of the structure of a flower, then after we will talk about it. Okay, so those flowers like rose, sweet pea contains both male and female reproductive organ. They are said to be complete or bisexual flowers. Okay, complete flowers have stamens, pistils, pistil, and sepals. Okay, but there are some other flowers are there like corn, papaya containing only male and only female reproductive organ, that is said to be incomplete and which is said to be unisexual flowers. Okay, and the stamens produces pollen grains which contain the male reproductive organs, and these surrounded by the tough protective cords which save them to drying out, and the ovals present in the ovary in the lower part of the pistils contain the female eggs. Okay, that is also given in figure 13.12. Okay, let's talk about what do you understand by pollination. Okay, so pollination is just a process, okay, in which what will happen, let's see, the transfer of the pollen grains from the anther to the stigma are known as pollination. If the pollen grains are carried to the stigma of either the same flower is known as self pollination, and or of the different flower of same kind are known as cross pollination. Okay, there are also different sources of pollinations are there. Okay, like insect pollination, birds, insects, and the other animal help in a cross pollination of the flowers. Okay, that attracted insects are attracted by the color and scent of the petals, and they collect nectar from flowers, and nectar is a sweet liquid usually from the others stick into insect body, and the genes get rubbed off, and the insects visit to the other flowers to collect the nectars. Okay, so there is also other source of pollination which is wind. Okay, wind help to transferring pollen grain from one flower to the stigma of the other flowers. Okay, let's talk about fertilization. So fertilization is a process in which what will happen, let's see. The stigma of each flower secrete a liquid containing sugar, and the pollen grain respond to the liquid and start growing. However, the pollen grains start growing only if the liquids is produced by a flower of its own species, and they do not grow if they land on the stigma of the flower of a different species. Okay, so after pollination, a thin tube called pollen tubes grown down in the pollen grain through the pistils. Okay, and you will see the figure 13.15 also how there is a process of fertilization in a plant occur. Okay, then after there is a seed formation are there, fruit formation are there, then after dispersal of seeds are there. Okay, so let's see how seed form. After formation of zygote, the petals, sepals, stamens, okay, away and fall off, and often the style and the stigma also fall off. Only the ovary remains. Okay, and the ovals in the ovary contain a supply of food and zygote takes in this food and being to grow by the cell divisions. Okay, and then after what will happen, then after obviously the wall of ovals develop hard layer and form seed. Okay, and the seed contain of a young plants which is stored food is sealed within a hard layer. Okay, then after fruit formation, as a seed form the ovary beings to be swell, in time it becomes a fruit, and so a fruit is actually developed ovary. Okay, a a plant produces a large number of seeds. It all these fall being below the plants and start growing. Them will not get enough space, water, minerals, and the sunlight, and they will not develop into healthy plants. Many of them may even die. Okay, so nature has arranged some agents of dispersal by which seeds of plants get scattered over the large area, and this is known as a dispersal of seed. Okay, so below discussion some such agents we will talk about. Agents, those are water, wind, animals. Okay, these are the agents. Okay, last topic of this chapter is the germination of seed. A seed contain a plant embryo in the resting stage. It can being to grow only under favorable conditions. The seed must get moist and oxygen. Most seeds need warmth as well as their favorable condition to germinate. Okay, and once the germination processes start, what will happen in early growth of plant from its seed, it beings in a take of water by seeds, and the enzymes in the seed start functioning when the water get. Okay, and the solution then diffuses into radicals and plumels, and then they start growing. Okay, the radicals start growing, the first pushes down in the soil and become the root, and then after what will happen, it start growing, it pushes up and grow to make shoot and leaves, and the leaves start making the food by the process of photosynthesis, and thus the plant begin to depend upon their own food. Okay, so this is all about the germination of seed. Please write down or make a short note about this chapter. Okay, in this chapter we will talk about reproduction in plant. Okay, by all sexual and asexual, sexual or asexual method. Okay, thank you.